leadership and voice will not be diminished if I am not on this committee for one term. My voice will get louder and stronger, and my leadership will be celebrated around the world as it has been.
Table Resolution 9, on which the ayes and nays.
All right, let's talk about one of the most dramatic moments we've seen on the House floor in recent years. The day Ilhan Omar was officially removed from the House Foreign Affairs Committee.
Today's resolution, as it relates to Representative Omar, details 6 statements she made as a sitting member of Congress that, under the totality of the circumstances, disqualify her from serving on the Committee on Foreign Affairs.
Democrats portrayed it as a dangerous precedent, arguing that committee removals would now become a weapon used whenever control shifts. Republicans framed it as correcting what they viewed as past wrongs and enforcing standards they believed had been ignored. Inside that chamber, you could see both narratives fighting for dominance. It wasn't subtle, it wasn't polite, it was raw politics.
Don't tell me this is about consistency. Don't tell me that this is about a condemnation of anti-Semitic remarks when you have a member of the Republican caucus who has talked about Jewish space lasers and an entire amount of tropes, and also elevated her to some of the highest committee assignments in this body. This is about targeting women of color in the United States of America. Don't tell me, because I didn't get a single apology when my life was threatened.
The representative can say whatever the heck she wants, but we don't have to accept it or embrace it. Individuals who hold such hateful views should rightly be barred from that type of committee.
Additionally, the rule before us provides for consideration of H.Res. 76, a resolution that would remove Representative Ilhan Omar from her seat on the Committee on Foreign Affairs. Representative Omar has a repeated history of making deplorable and despicable anti-Semitic remarks and does not deserve to sit on the committee directly overseeing U.S. international policy, partnerships, and national security. In fact, former chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee, a Democrat, Representative Eliot Engel, claimed that such comments made by Representative Omar have, and I quote, "no place in the Foreign Affairs Committee or the House of Representatives," end quote. Compared to the actions taken by my Democratic colleagues last Congress, I think that we Republicans are being incredibly generous in only removing Representative Ilhan Omar from the Foreign Affairs Committee instead of from all her committee assignments, which we are clearly in our right to do. I urge my colleagues to support this rule, and I reserve the balance of my time.
This institution is better because of her leadership, and the Foreign Affairs Committee benefits from her perspective. So let's talk about what's really happening. Republicans are waging a blatantly Islamophobic and racist attack on Congresswoman Omar. And I've said it before, I will say it again. The white supremacy happening is unbelievable. This is despicable.
We're not removing her from other committees. We just do not believe when it comes to foreign affairs, especially the responsibility of that position around the world with the comments that you make. She shouldn't serve there.
The gentlewoman is recognized. On which the ayes and nays.
Committee assignments in Congress aren't minor details. The Foreign Affairs Committee is one of the most visible and influential committees in the House. Removing a member from it is not routine. It sends a message about who gets to represent America on the global stage. It sends a message about accountability, precedent, and majority power. This moment revealed just how fractured Congress is right now. When a committee removal becomes a floor-wide emotional showdown, it tells you we're not just dealing with policy disagreements. We're dealing with 2 completely different visions of what accountability looks like. To Republicans in that chamber, the vote was about consistency and standards for a committee that handles sensitive international matters. To Democrats, it was about political retribution and protecting a member they believed was being unfairly targeted. and neither side blinked. What unfolded wasn't just another vote. It was a display of modern congressional warfare, strategic, symbolic, and deeply partisan. The floor speeches weren't aimed at persuading the other side. They were aimed at the country watching from home. That's why the drama felt so amplified. Every word was crafted. Every visual was intentional. Every vote was locked in before debate even began. And at the end of the day, the majority used its power. That's the reality of Congress. When control changes, so do the rules of engagement. And this vote made that crystal clear. Now here's the question that lingers after all the speeches and all the applause fades. Is this the new normal? Is every shift in power going to bring retaliatory removals? Or was this a specific moment tied to specific controversies? Because what happened that day wasn't subtle, it set a tone. It showed that committee assignments are no longer just administrative decisions. They are political battlegrounds. And whether you see that as accountability or escalation depends entirely on which side of the aisle you're standing on. But one thing is undeniable. The drama that unfolded in Congress that day will be remembered as one of the clearest examples of how divided Washington has become. If you're watching Congress closely, moments like this tell you far more than any headline ever could. They reveal how power is exercised, how narratives are built, and how quickly the temperature can rise inside that chamber. And if this is the direction congressional politics is heading, then buckle up, because this likely won't be the last time we see a committee vote turn into a full-scale political showdown. If you found this breakdown helpful and you want more deep dives into what's really happening inside Congress, not just the headlines, but the drama behind the scenes, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and let me know in the comments what moment you want analyzed next.